English can be tricky even for advanced learners. Some words may sound and look almost identical, but have completely different meanings.
And by the way, Y-O-U-apostrophe-R-E means you are. Y-O-U-R means you're.
See? But no worries. In today's video, we are going to tackle 15 of the most confusing word pairs in English. After this, no one will catch you making these mistakes. Now, here's the fun part. Let's see how well you already know these words. Here's what we will do. You will see gapped sentences with two-word option. Your job? Complete the sentences correctly before I reveal the answers. Then I will explain the difference and give more examples to make it stick. So, are you ready to check your skills and learn something new? Let's dive in. Look at the sentence and choose your option. Take a moment to think and place the words appropriately. You may pause the video if you need to. The correct answer is A. You are going to love this video because it will improve your English skills. Your is a contraction of you are. It is used to describe someone or to create the present continuous tense. Your is a possessive adjective showing that something belongs to you. Let's see one more example. You are amazing for working on your English so diligently. Let's keep going. Take your time to think and place the words appropriately. The right answer is A. I'm happy to accept all the suggestions, except the one about working weekends. Accept is a verb that means to agree to receive or take something. Except is a conjunction which means excluding or apart from. One more example. He accepted the job offer, except for the condition about relocation.
I'll accept any currency except the Albanian leu.
Let's take a look at the next pair. What do you think? What you should say here is A. The new policy will affect employee productivity, but the exact effect remains unclear. Affect is a verb which means to influence or bring about a change. Effect is a noun which refers to the result or the outcome of a change.
This and the difference between affect and effect are like the only two things.
One more example. Stress can affect your health, and its long-term effect can be serious. Another confusing pair of words. Take your time to think and place them appropriately. The correct option is A. He sat beside me during the meeting, and besides discussing the project, we talked about our traveling plans. Beside is a preposition which means next to. Besides is a preposition or adverb which means in addition to or moreover. One more example. Beside the lake, there is a small cafe. Besides coffee, they serve wonderful desserts. This one is tricky. Do you know the difference? You may pause the video to think if you need to. And the answer is B. Could you advise me on how to handle this situation? I really need your advice. Advice is a verb which means to give a suggestion or recommendation. Advice is a noun that refers to the recommendation or suggestion itself.
But I'm here to advise you, and my best advice?
For example, she advised me to take a break and think it over. Her advice was exactly what I needed. Are you ready to continue? Take your time to think how you may place these words. Your correct answer is B. The team worked hard to raise their performance this year, but the overall results did not rise as expected. Raise is a verb that requires an object, meaning to increase or improve something. Rise means to go up by itself without an object. In this case, we're talking about results that did not improve.
A rising tide raises all boats, Leland.
One more example. Although the manager raised the issue in the meeting, the tension in the room continued to rise. Another confusing pair which may give a hard time to English learners. Take a look at the sentence and make your choice. You should say A. Her skills perfectly complement his, making them a great team, and I have to compliment her for the amazing presentation. Complement is a verb which means to complete or enhance something by providing what it needs.
Complimented my accessories?
Compliment is a noun or a verb which means to praise or express admiration for somebody.
It's a compliment. How is that a compliment?
Extra examples. They complement each other perfectly with their expertise. I complimented Mark on his excellent leadership. Let's keep going. You may pause the video to place the words appropriately. And the answer is B. At the end of the long day, I like to lie down and lay my phone on the table. Lie is an intransitive verb, which means to recline or to be in a resting position. No object needed. Lay is a transitive verb, which means to place something down. It requires an object. For example, I lay my keys on the counter before I lie down to relax. I'm sure you are doing great, and we are moving to another pair. What do you think? The correct answer is A. It's important to breathe deeply when you feel stressed, but don't forget to take a deep breath before speaking. Breathe is a verb which means to inhale and exhale air. Breath is a noun which refers to the act of inhaling and exhaling air. For example, he tried to breathe calmly, taking a deep breath before responding. These words don't look alike, however, they may often be confused in a sentence. Take a moment to figure out the correct option. The answer is B. From his tone, I could infer that he wasn't happy with the decision, but I didn't want to imply anything without confirmation. Imply is a verb that means to suggest something indirectly or to hint at something. Infer is the verb that means to conclude or deduce something based on available evidence. For example, his body language implied that he was frustrated, but I inferred that he was also tired.
Michael, he wasn't inferring, he was implying. You were inferring.
How many times have I heard this two being confused? Do you remember the difference? Take a look at the sentence and choose your answer. What you should say is A. She made the cake specially for the birthday party, and it was especially delicious. Specially is an adverb, which means for a specific purpose or occasion. Especially is an adverb meaning particularly or to a greater extent.
Especially since he was a member of Special Branch.
Look at the next sentence and choose your option. Take a moment to think if you need to. Your correct answer will be B. She went to buy some new stationery for her office, including pens and notebooks. But the car remained stationary at the parking lot all day. Stationery refers to paper, pens, and other office supplies, while stationary means not moving or fixed in one place. For example, she was writing the letter all day using her favorite stationery, while her bike stayed stationary in the yard. We are not running out of tricky pairs of words. Let's take a look at this one. The answer is, be careful not to lose the key. They may slip out of your loose pocket. Lose is a verb that means to misplace or fail to keep something, while loose is an adjective which means not tight or free from constraints.
Yeah, but enemies with loose cash, nothing to lose.
How are you coping? Ready for the next step? Remember to pause the video if you need to. The answer is B. Jane was feeling quite nervous before the presentation, but she tried to stay quiet during the meeting. Quiet is an adverb which means to a considerable extent or degree. Quiet is an adjective meaning to make little or no noise.
You're quite right to keep it quiet.
And some extra example. He was quite impressed with her performance, but he remained quiet until the end of the show. And the last pair of confusing words for today. Take a deep breath and choose the correct option. And the answer is B. The meeting lasted longer than we expected, so we decided to go further with the discussion tomorrow. But we had to switch the conference room to the one which was farther down the hall.
Farther relates to distance. Further is a definition of degree.
Farther is used for physical distance, measurable space. Further is used for metaphorical space, progress, development, or additional discussion. For example, the parking lot is farther from the entrance. We will need to discuss the project further before the deadline. How did you do? Even if you haven't nailed everything at the first try, I'm sure none of those tricky words is a problem for you now. If you found the video useful, make sure to like it, subscribe, and leave the comment with the words you struggle with. Thank you for being with me this time, and see you in the next video.